Tip number 1 is going to be using leading lines. Leading lines is a good way to attract the eye to whatever you want your subject to be. So basically what you want to do is you want to come find a good leading line, like these escalators for example, and I have my friend standing all the way at the bottom, and the lines will lead into her standing there like this. And you probably shoot this one maybe portrait mode, maybe come down like this, get some different angles of it, and this will look pretty sick right here. Alright, tip number 2 is to use reflections. Reflections are always a really dope way to get some cool photos. And if it's dry like how it is out here, there's no rain or anything or really puddles, so that's why we brought this. We'll just pour some of this on the ground, and that way we'll make ourselves our own little reflection puddle. Alright, so these mirror things over here are always a pretty cool place to get some shots on the street too. It's always cool to get some dope reflection of these kind of like fish-eye mirrors that are in like these parking garages. Here, check it out. Tip number 3 is gonna be framing. I touched on this on my last video. You always want to use a lot of framing. That's a good way to get an epic street photo out of it. Use a lot of framing. All over every city you go to, you're gonna have a lot of these bike racks. These can be used for some dope framing. As you can see here, you can have somebody stand way over there and you can get some cool shots. Or if you just wait by the street with one of these and you have somebody go by on a bicycle or walking by, that could be sick too. Alright, so tip number 4 is don't forget to look up. Especially in the city, you can find a lot of really great spots to do some look up photography. So always make sure to remember to look up. You never know what kind of cool shots you might see. Alright, tip number 3 is to try and change up the perspective. Try and find a way that's almost like an optical illusion to really make people think about the photo a little bit harder. Like for example, I'm going to go on this really steep street right here, and then what we're going to do is turn the camera so the camera actually matches the angle of the street. So when somebody walks by, it'll actually look like the houses themselves are tilted or falling over. Let me show you what I mean. Alright, so since this street is actually very steep, what you're gonna want to do is turn the camera like this so it matches the sidewalk. So what that's gonna do is it's really gonna make these houses look like they're about to fall over. It has a really cool effect that really changes up the perspective. Alright, bonus tip, tip number 6. Always try to convey like a cool story in your photo, or a vibe, or a mood, or something. Just something that makes it more than just a plain photo. You always want to convey something in your photo that really makes the viewer feel something when they see it. That's a bonus tip for you. Alright, give me one more peace sign. Alright. Hey, alright.
Feels
Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed these quick tips on shooting street photography. Make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe, share it with somebody who might be interested in watching this. It helped me out a lot. And we'll see you again next time.